Mko poa? Oh, my name is Stella Mothori Njagi. I'm the leader in charge of programming, website and app development. And the theme of today will be Python. Now, the person who will be taking us through is Liz. Our guest of today will be Liz, and she will be the first speaker to start. By the end of this section, you'll be able to learn something. Thank you.
My name is Elizabeth Akini. I'll be taking you Python. So, nafanya tu introduction, alafu code, and tuna kitu sort of code. Hata introduction ilifanya la same. So, kwa wenye wakwa, tutawakumbusha. So, Python is one of the most known programming languages, and it's also an interpreted, object-oriented, and high-level machine language. It works on different platforms such as Windows, Mac, lingine najitanga Raspberry, and others. It has a simple syntax similar to the English language that allows development to write programs with fewer lines than some programming languages. It has an interpreter system, meaning that the code can be executed as soon as it is written. This means that prototyping is very quick. It can be treated as in a procedural way, an object-oriented way, or a functional way. Kama hakuna naenda for uses of Python. One, Python is used for web development. Python's role in web development is sending data to and from sources, processing data, and communicating with databases. It's also used in URL routing and ensuring security. The second one is machine learning. In machine learning, Python is used. Python provides libraries such as NumPy, Pandas, TensorFlow, and Keras. Keras that offer tools and functions essential for data manipulation, analysis, and building machine learning models. The third one is software development. When they find research, scripting, data science, the desktop applications, and others.
So today I'm going to take you through the basics of Python, so that later on when you start coding, at least kila mtu atakuwa na understanding ya how functions, such things как functions na variables zina work. So naweza endelea maliliza liachia kuna mali so Python you can use it for automation, AI na web. So kama unataka kutumia Python, you should major on one thing. It's either umajor on AI, kutumia Python kucode AI, either utumia Python kucode kufanya automation ama web development ama building applications such as Instagram tunatumia sahi, most of it tumetengenezwa na Python. So for you to do web development, you should also have knowledge on CSS, HTML na Java. So most of the time Python inatumika kufanya backend. So most of the people use Python to do the backend of a project. So today I'm going to start on we start on a simple codes tu kidogo tu. Sawa. before we start on simple code, for me right now I use PyCharm Community Edition. Then also you can use Visual Studio. Visual Studio, by the way, inatumika kucode any language, as long as when you have you have downloaded this application, you also need to download the extensions for the various languages for you to run the different types of codes. So for now, for today tutatumia PyCharm. PyCharm kwa kila mtu sasa itakuwa rahisi. So tufungue PyCharm. So this is how your interface will look like. So vile utafanya, when you download it for the first time, it brings for you it's a blank interface hapa, inakwambia create a new project. So what you do, kwa sahi kama usha download kwa uko na PyCharm, you just need to go here, please, hapo click hapo. So we want to create a new project. To create a new project, you need to come here, you select the new project. For new project, we want to name this project. So for you to name this project, unafaa kuwa you highlight this hapo. So for us to create a new project, you have to highlight that, and let's name our project today Hello World. Ukisha usifinye enter kwanza. So for you to you see the Python version hapa, hii file yako inafaa ku read that before by the way nimesahau, before you download this PyCharm you need to have downloaded the Python. Hii application haizi run kama haizi work kama uja download the Python. So what you need to come to do, niende hapo kwa Windows, nitaipie Python, search for Python. So this is what we want, this one. Fungua, open. Sasa hii ni CMD ya Python. So for you to know that this program is working, ukisha download unakuja unasema, so we need to see if it's working. So we want to display a message, a little message, and itasema hello world. That's when we know our program is working. So you say print, unaweka in single quotes hello, then you interfere. Slow case. Enter. Iko sawa. Funga program. So for you to know that for PyCharm to work, you need to download the PyCharm of the Python. So Python sahi Python imefika 3.12. Sawa. So ukisha name your project, you say create. Ukishasema create, we need to create a Python file. So all you need to do is ukuja hapa, you right click, Kaje malizie. Right click hapa. So ukisema right click, you just need to go to create any folder project. Sawa. Sasa tunataka to create a Python file. So tunakuja hapa tunasema new, you go to Python file. Hapa hivi. Click the Python file. You click. So ukisha kuja kwa Python file, we just tuiname kama app.py. App.py. App ya application. So ukinem any Python file inafaa kuwa na this.py. Ndo when you code, at least the program knows this is a Python code. So we need to do this. Ukishamaliza you press enter. Sasa ndio inatuleta kwa hii interface hapa. So this is where you start your coding. So for today, we are going to just doing a simple one. So you do this, say print, so all I'm creating is an hysteric, this hysteric that will repeat itself 10 times. So when you kafanya, you see this hysteric ikuja hapa, you put it into quotes, hysteric, then it will multiply itself 10 times. So another hysteric hapo, then times 10. Ukishamaliza hii hysteric, I like to delete, anza code. Usifinye enter, anza tu kutype.
Until now, sindio? Kopoa. So naitwa Ahmed. Wenye wanijui niko module 2 huku. Sasa niko atacho, but mbona nikuje ni present juu I'm a member here. Yeah. So Python ni rahisi. Haikuangi ngumu kama C. Unajua watu wenye wamesoma C wanasemanga ni rahisi, but C is actually very very hard. C++ ni simple actually. Watu wenye wanafanya module 2 OP mtanisaidia. Mimi na present OP in Python. Mwone vile Python inaweza fanya job fit huku nje. So everything nimesoma pa Python documentation. Hapa hivi vya beginner unataka kulearn, najituma tu hapo and you'll get skills. Yeah. So first thing first, maybe I can give you a small introduction with this documentation. So our first present, I was supposed to talk a little bit on functions, but hajaongelea functions. So I'll just go directly to what I was to present. So in case you have a question, you'll ask. Yeah. So I'm not using PyCharm or Nether VS for this. I'll just be using my Ubuntu terminal. So in case you'll have a question also here, you just ask. Yeah. So first thing first, we'll first create a repository on GitHub to store our work. Najua if you work in an organization hivi, huwezi work hivi kimembe. You have to create a repository mali uteka job yako in case maybe uhame ama comp ikufe. So unaenda GitHub. First unaenda GitHub, and then let me start afresh ndo everybody to see. So I already have account, but kama huna account you will be prompted to create a new one, maybe things like that. So unakuja tu hapo unasema new to create a repository, and then you give it the name you want. So we'll say Nairobi Technical NTTI Club. Just say NTTI Club. Achekwe caps hivyo. We want our repository to be public so that anybody akienda kwa profile yangu ya GitHub akienda hapo anaweza ona hiyo repository. So in case unajifanyia job yake yenye utaki mtu aone, unaenda tu uniset as private. So ukiset as private, nobody else will see the repository. Yeah. So you can add a readme from here, but then we don't do that nowadays. You can add your readme from your own terminal. So we won't do anything else. We just create the repository and continue. Our repository name ICT Club. Yeah, just like that, ICT Club, and then just create a new repository. Let's give it a minute. So Creativo, the repository is normally empty like this. So you just come and then copy paste it, and then now go to where you are coding from. So personally I'm using my terminal, so you just git clone and then paste it. So cloning into ICT Club, because it's an empty repository, that's why you've seen the warning, you appear to have cloned an empty repository. Yeah. So if I list all now, you'll see our repository here, ICT Club is there. So you just cd into cd is just like saying change directory, because in Linux instead of saying folder we normally use directory. So just say change directory into ICT Club tab, just like that. And then if you ls, it's empty. Ls means list all commands, so list all files available, so it's empty. So first thing first, we may want to create a readme so that any user who comes to our profile will know what the code is all about. Yeah, so you can just say there are many ways, but then I use vi, I use vim, you can use emacs, anything you want. So readme.md. So our readme should have an extension of md. Okay, extension ingine it won't work, so it should be readme.md and then insert. So here you just type what you want. Kama una create maybe project ya ama maybe code ya quad 1+1, unaweza sema tu this readme, this project ama this repository will be talking about this and this. So for example hapa hivi, because I want us to discuss about inheritance and maybe create a small terminal, I'll just say, so this repository NTTI will be used for learning purposes. I'm not going to make it a long one because for now we don't know what we are discussing, so this is used for learning purposes. Okay, you just escape. Depending on what you want, si lazima utumie Ubuntu, you can just use VS Code. Ukienda kwa VS una control J uende kwa terminal, so that you'll be able to create all of this. So I'll just clear our screen. So at the moment you can see we are in the repository is called ICT Club, and then inside it we only have one file, the readme. So now you can say maybe you want to create, let's say just say example. You can just say example 1. Okay, let me just do. Okay, when you want to create a folder or a file without nothing inside, you just use the touch command. Using the touch command, you can say maybe example1 example1.py. So using this, if you list it, you can see there is example1.py. But then if we cut into example1, you'll see it's empty. The cat command is used to list all the files under a certain file. So you'll see it's empty, so we'll VI into it so that we can write something. So yeah, so first thing first, because we are using bash, this is bash here. So depending with the version of Python you have installed in your machine, personally I'm using Python 3, and it's not compulsory. Unaweza tumia any Python you want, so you can just use the normal Python hivyo ama Python 3, wewe ndio unaamua. So Python 3, yeah. So yeah, so first thing first, umeona kama vile our first presenter here amesema. So in Python usually kama unataka ku create a file maybe ama unataka ku add two things, you only have to give them the data type. Kama unataka ku add 1 plus 1, huwezi andika tu hivyo, utasema maybe input int, just something like int, and then input, and then maybe I'll say number 1, I'll just say number 1, yeah, just like that. Yeah, so unaona hapa hivi tumepea data type. So data type yetu hapa is in an integer. So maybe when we are giving the values alafu tuipe a float, it raise a value error because I expect ipeani hiyo. But then one great thing with OP, si lazima uipe data type hivi. In OP, everything is an object. First of all in Python, when now you are into OP, unaweza declare an object and then use it depending anyhow with any data type. So maybe unaweza declare a num, so that num unaweza tumia as an integer, as a float, as a string, depending with what you want. So hiyo ni kitu moja mtamu about OP. Another thing, okay, let me just, okay, I don't want to take you guys too quickly, but then functions, kuna functions, watu wa ICT mnajua functions. So to create a function normally una just use the def, then keyword, and then give the function name, maybe say sum, and then give it two values, maybe arguments, give it maybe x comma y, and then now we say maybe return x plus y. Let me just run this so that you'll see what I'm saying. So just say Python. There are different ways to run this, but then I just use this one. So okay, sorry for that, nimesahau kuweka kitu, or maybe I can ask that. Okay, tumerun using this Python 3. This is the endo install. This is the version of Python install, and then our file here is called example.py. So even if despite hapo ndani kukuwa na something hapo ndani, as you can see kuna a function called sum, and then in a return x plus y. But then when I try to run it, sipati anything. Who maybe can help me with that? Mbona maybe sipati the output? Yes, jcall. In short, we use jcall. Nime create, but then hakuna kitu nime create tu, nikaacha tu hivyo. So we expect kuona kitu hapo unless you call it back. So to call it back, so unasema tu, let's say mimi napenda vi, but then you can use emacs. So acha ni function yetu, alafu tuipe maybe 1 and 2. Let's hope this works. Let me just use this. So still nothing. Still nothing. Anyone? Anyone? Kata? Okay, oh, I should cut it. Okay. Ukitumia hizi, kuna hizi button hapa zimeandikwa scroll, page up, page down. So in case you may enter command hapo unataka kuitype sana again and it's the same command, unaweza tumia tu hizo tu and then you'll get the command. So if I cut it, so inside to create, alafu tumename our function sum, inafai return hizo mbili tu hivyo, and then tumeita sum yetu tukaipia 1 and 2, but still hatuoni kitu. Anyone? Okay, there's no wrong answer kama unasoma. Ukisema hivi and then you see how tumeifanya, ndio utajua mbona ulikuwa wrong. But then ukinyamazia, one time utaitumia somewhere. So mtu anaweza guess, unaweza sema tu maybe sijainame vizuri. Anything. Zimeingia kama string. Still sasa hiyo tunaweza sema iko correct pia. Ndio tujaipea data type, tumepea tu, tumesema tu sum x y return x plus y. Okay. Mkuu, tutusaidia? Okay, so one error. So okay, let's see return x plus y sum. Okay, okay, oneni hapa kitu hapa nime print. Okay, let me print sum ndio tupate sum yetu hapo sasa. But then instead of me getting the sum which is supposed to be 3, napata a pointer which is this statement here inatuambia tu sum, hiyo sum yetu imekuwa stored somewhere, inatuonyesha mali imekuwa stored at memory. So in this case here, najua Python, the good thing with programming is that ndo naambia computer vile itafanya. Maybe ndo niambia what to do. So return x plus y sum, pia hii repeat sum. Let me just remove this for a minute. So let me see, just return, let me just see result. Alafu uzuri ya Python pia si lazima tu declare, na kama unafanya si lazima, ukitaka kutumia maybe kitu kama inaitwa result, lazima uende hapo juu sema int result. But then Python si lazima, unaitumia tu hivyo na hiyo yenyewe tu it's smart, so itafanya tu hivyo just like that. Any advantage. So ukishamaliza hapa unaingia hapo Python documentation and then unajua everything vile inafanywa tu hapo, and then it's so easy. So let me print result to rebuild that. And then call it sum again, and this is sum 1,2, just like that. Let's see if it's going to work. Don't worry, in introduction to functions, juu ilikuwa nimeambia mtu wetu hapa introduce, but then time maybe ndio imekata, so tutasamea hapa. Sorry, nimeweka capital X. It's supposed to be that way. Yeah. Sasa mmeona hiyo? Mmeona answer imekuja 4. Okay, let me cut more vile function ina work. I think this is the only small example I'll do. So mkipata tu basics ya hii and then you can do what I have planned for now. Okay, let me just cut. Yeah, so first thing first hapo nime declare the first line, your hash, yes sir, that's not compulsory. unaweza anda tu just like that na still it's going to work. So tumecreate a function called sum that ina multiply, that ina add two numbers x and y. So arguments yetu tukaipia x na y and then tukaprint result. So tukiita hapa our function 1 na 3 it's supposed to give us 4. That's why tumeirun ikatupia 4. That's why tukirun inakupia 4. Okay, this is just for a tip. Let's say maybe we give it 3 values. Insert mwone itakataa, but then I just tell you how to solve it, but then we won't do it. Unaona, nimepea 3 values lakini si tumepea na 2 arguments pekee, so return an error here. But then okay, basically it ina mean 2. Ukidefine maybe 3 arguments, unapoipe 3 values. Ukidefine maybe 4, unaipea 4. Ukipea 5 itakupea error. But then there's something called args and quags. They're just more like arguments. Hivi unaweza zitumia when you hizo quags and quags, I don't want us to do them. Okay, hizo args and quags ukizitumia, no matter how many values you give your function here, it's still going to work. I don't know if you guys are getting me. Umepata? Yeah, okay. Kuna wenye amenipata. So, mkisomea documentation mtajua chenye mimi naongelea. But in short tu ukidefine hapo case tungekuwa tumesema hapa tungekuwa tumesema maybe, and actually si lazima uizite args and quags. Hii asterisk ndio inakuwa important. So args iko na asterisk moja na quags iko na asterisk mbili. So hizo asterisk ndo important hapo. But then the name unaweza tumia any name you want. So in case tungekuwa tumepea our function here, hii argument ya args, and then tuipe, not that this is going to work, there's something else you're supposed to change here, and then tuipe maybe more than even, let's say 10 values. Hii still ina work only if unaipea hiyo argument umwambia. So for more information utaenda tu hapo Python documentation and then you'll see about that. Yeah, so let's just leave that there. I think now everybody now is okay. So as you see, kila mtu mwenye anatumia Windows, Ubuntu, any operating system yenye unatumia inakuanga na enable, let's say shell, something like this. So hii tunaweza create our own using Python. Kitu kama tu yenye utakuwa pia values ni ina work. Like hapo kusema ls ikilist, so ita list, ina list all files available. Unaweza clear. I don't know if help will work. Let's see. Yeah, help ina work. Yeah, pia okay. Control C. So you can create something like that with Python, and then we'll see that's the final thing we'll do. So for the moment, let's start with inheritance. Let's start with classes and objects. Watu wa module 2 mmesoma classes and objects. Who maybe can help me na kuniambia maybe in layman terms tu, kitu rahisi, si lazima usemele definition mlipewa na Mr. Ngure, kitu tu simple. What is an object? Ama what is a class? What is a class? Mmesikia vile amesema? Utaja kusikia. Okay. Amesema an object is an instance of a class. Alafu a class is a collection of more related objects. Naweza sema tu hivyo tu. Simple. Class, collection of objects. Related though. So they're supposed to be related. If they're not related, so first thing hapa, let's create a file called student.py and then insert. So kama una work with classes and objects, unafojue 3 main things. How to define a class, which is simple. Una define a class with just the keyword class. Objects ni kama hizi variables hapa vile tu unajua tu hivyo, si eti unasema object alafu ni pia hiyo. So object ni sasa hizo maybe hizo data types, you can say that hizo now items that are clear with data types ndo hizo objects. You can just give them any name. And then one great thing with OOP nimewambia is that unaweza declare hapa an object name, maybe let's say number. You have the same number unaweza as an integer, unaweza as a string, as a float, vile wewe utataka tu. So jifundisha about that. So acha niache hiyo first line just for learning purposes. So let's give our class. So hiyo ndo una define a class, unaipa just a class, we should define hivyo. So let's say maybe entity I. Acha tuseme entity club. And then when naming your class, make sure the first letter is a capital letter. Not that it's not going to work, but then when you are working with other people, usifanya hivi, okay, watadhani wewe uko chini. So na make sure tu hizi si vitu compulsory, but then when you are working with a larger group of people with experience, is vitu tu implement, tuwezi jua vile form itaanguka. So entity I can just say entity like that, and then okay, just like that. Hiyo tumedefine class yetu. And then if you define a class na utaki kufanya anything, you just say pass. Ukiacha bila, if you don't give it the keyword pass hapa, it raise an error. But then if you define it and then we pay pass, it's still going to work. You can see that. Let me just split my screen. This split. This split. Maybe I hope this will work. Kata. Let me just do this. So you can say maybe Python. Unaona hapo ukitoa hiyo nimekai hapa. What about this? Acha kwanza tutoe hii pass, try to comment out and then you see what I mean. So tukijaribu ku run that, ina raise an error. Itasema indentation error, so many things, but then basically to need because ume declare class, but then ujipea the first statement to show that hakuna kitu inafanya. I think I forgot about telling you guys this. Ukicreate a function, make sure sisahau this. After this full colon hapa, make sure ni indentation. So Python inajuanga they are different or more related na hiyo indentation. So usipoipe indentation ita raise an error. So make sure usisahau hiyo. And then most of the times ukijust press enter, nafai kupea indentation automatically, but then in a case where haijakupea, make sure you do that. So now I want to talk about methods. Methods are functions, but then now they are used when there's a class. The same way we define a function hivyo, a function called sum, and then tukipea two values work. So a method is also called a function. It is also a function, but then only the difference is only that methods are used when they are classes. Kama hakuna class huwezi tumia method. I hope that's clear. There's something else called a constructor. A constructor, in simple terms, unaweza tu a constructor is like a blueprint. A blueprint that most buildings zinatumika kutengeneza. For example, if you want to build this house hivi, there's normally that blueprint that inaonyesha hiyo nyumba vile itakuwa, things like that. So in Python pia kuna something inaitwa a constructor. So the constructor is usually, this is the constructor. Inanimiwa with, okay, the init is not compulsory, but then what's compulsory ni hizi two underscores, yeah. Hizi underscores ndo zinasema ni constructor, but then the init, most people use init juu, acha tuseme those who started Python walitumia hiyo. So when you are writing your code and then maybe you pay a developer mwenye ameka in the industry for maybe 20 years, on tu init atajoin constructor. But usipoipia pia the init name ita work, but then pia itaonyesha pia kuna vile tunasema tu kuna vile tu. And then you're supposed to give it an argument called self. So every constructor una create should have the self argument. First one ever hii kila mahali tu. Usipopea self ita raise an error. And then now, so here in class entity maybe we are creating a function. Let's say we are creating a function, a script that itafanya kitu kama when somebody runs this, inasema your name, maybe your age, and maybe what course you are doing, things like that. So it's not I'll be showing you the methods to do this. There's the way you normally do it, which is not compulsory, and then the other method that everybody uses. Both of them zina work, but ina depend na wewe mwenyewe utaamua ni gani unataka. So first one, I won't name our arguments here. Ndaiacha tu hivi. Ama let me name. Let's say for example name. Tunataka name. Tunataka age. Let's say what else? Maybe name, age, and maybe admission number. Acha tu iko tu hivyo tatu for the moment. So to initialize these arguments here inside this constructor, unafaa anze na self. Hivyo ndo unazi initialize. Usipozi initialize na self, zita bring an error, zita raise an error. So kuna value error na kuna raise error. Wewe mwenyewe tu unaweza amua tu vile unaweza pia. The good thing with Python here, si kama si unajua si maybe ukirun program yako inakupea tu predefined error messages. But then hapo unaweza sema vile unataka error messages zako ziwe. Maybe mtu ame input a float instead of an integer for example. So unaweza andika a script hapo uongeze tu value error wewe mwenyewe vile utaamua. Unaweza andika na Kiswahili inafaa ikuwe integer. Integer ni Kiswahili hiyo. Unaweza inafaa ikuwe integer ama inafaa ikuwe decimal. Both of them will work. So let's initialize this. So don't forget about this guys, but don't forget about the constructor, because kila kitu tutafanya hapa is based on the constructor. Ukisahau una constructor utakuwa unafanya kazi bure. So okay. So usisahau hiyo constructor make sure mshika hiyo. So dot name positionalize is equals to name. Lazima uiandike, unaweza sema tu first name or maybe last name. I just prefer using name juu mwenyewe tu like spendi type sana. So self.age is equals to age, and then maybe self.admission number is equals to admission number. Watu wenye wamefanya OP module 2, si kuna private, kuna protected, si ndio? So in Python pia kuna vitu kama hizo, but then si lazima utumie sijui private sijui protected z. Okay, to make an object to be private una use an underscore. Ukiweka an underscore hivi inamaanisha it's private. Remove it like that ni public. Simple tu. Hata kama hujasoma hii IT, you can still learn this. Okay, the first method now. Protected. Okay, let me tell you something about that. Okay, even if kuna private na protected, still they can be accessed. Maybe for a person who is starting out ndo hata iza kuzi access. So mimi sionangi muhimu hadi ya kujua hizo. Wewe jua tu kuna private na protected, but still unaweza name an object, unaweza define object yako as maybe protected, but then somebody still can access it. Hiyo ndo disadvantage ya Python hiyo pande. In C++ I don't think it can be accessed. Inaweza kuwa accessed watu wa module 2. For example umecreate script yako ya let's say okay, kama hii hapa yenye inachukua ina display details za student, inapeana name, age na admission number. Umepeana and then uka specify that the name unataka ikuwe private. So in C++ hii inaweza kuwa accessed bado? I don't think inaweza kuwa